Hello everybody and welcome to the Ozzimon Library, and of course I'm your librarian. Today I want to tackle a rather unique combination of things. What if we took Pokemon and gave them the ability to access the Morphing grid? What sort of new forms would they take? And that's exactly what we're going to use in this video. The idea of Pokemon fusing with the Morphing grid, creating new forms for themselves. Now I have 4 Pokemon for you today, and I cannot wait to show you guys what I came up with. When it comes to this concept, you could very easily just get one of the animal-themed Zords, let's say a wolf, and slap it on one of the dog Pokemon, and you could call it a day. But I wanted to do something different and really unique, and I did try my best to come up with rather fun and unique things. So, the very first one I'm going to show you, personally, I think is the weakest of the 4 designs, hence why it's going first. So, of course, we're going to go with Poltergeist. Poltergeist, of course, is a Pokemon that lives in a teacup. So, what would happen if it fused with the Morphing grid, absorbing all of that energy, and became something else? Well, I thought it might have actually decided to possess something else that isn't a teacup. What item kind of looks like a teacup? A lamp, maybe? Let's say a genie lamp? Now, of course, that is obviously a reference to the Solaris Knight and his laser lamp weapon. What if Poltergeist's ghost actually kind of embodied the laser lamp? So, that's exactly what I did. So, let's talk about that. Poltergeist now change of colour into more of a bright white, and his eyes and mouth are kind of themed off of the Solaris Knight's, like, rimmed outlines and gold kind of, like, aesthetics. The actual laser lamp itself is dulled out in colour because obviously it is a ghost inhabiting something, so I thought maybe it'd lose somewhat of its power. And, of course, I'm keeping it in more of its lamp mode than its laser lamp mode, only because it is a lamp for, obviously, a genie-esque character in Power Rangers Mystic Force. So I'm keeping with that, just keeping it, like I said, dulled out in colour, losing some of this aesthetic. But here I give you the Morphing grid mode for Poltergeist. Like I said, it is the weakest of the ones that I've created. I would redesign the arms, maybe, just because I'm not exactly a fan of the way I did the arms, but the rest of it I like. It's just the arms kind of bug me. Again, for those who are new to the channel, I am still learning to draw. I've been drawing since I was a kid, but it's never been a fury, in my stomach sort of passion. It's just been something I use as an outlet to present my creativity. So, here we have the Morphing grid version of Poltergeist. Now, I've never been one for stats or anything like that, hence why I never do anything like that, but I will say I want to give this Pokemon a new ability, a hidden move, called Solar Cell Absorption. It would work similar to Sunny Day. You know how some Pokemon can make it sunny, and of course it boosts certain stats and abilities. Solar Cell Absorption kind of works something similar. It makes it bright and sunny. Any other ghost-type Pokemon and ice-type Pokemon get weak and lose some of their stats to this. Maybe it's their speed or something. Maybe it's their attack. Who knows? But the Poltergeist, however, after 2 turns of using the Solar Cell Absorption, gets increased attack and special attack. Because, obviously, the Solaris Knight is based off the flippin' sun. Now, that being said, let's dive into our second Pokemon. This Pokemon, however, isn't fused with a Power Ranger, though it is fused with a monster. See, I do have a son, and he is currently watching several seasons of Power Rangers, and recently we just finished Power Rangers Dino Charge. And one of the monsters that really stood out to me was Singe, a kind of candle-themed monkey-like alien, and he works for Lord Arcanon. He's one of the main antagonists for a couple of episodes, and he actually looks pretty cool. I really like his candle looking gun too. So, of course, I had to fuse him with our own little candle Pokemon Litwick. Litwick gets a Morphing Grid form, fusing with Singe. So when it comes to Litwick's design, of course, I'm gonna base it off of Singe's design as well, making sure that I include the little blue flames that are wisping off his shoulder and forehead, you know, making them sort of horns. Changing Litwick's flame into blue as well works really well, making sure I add those colours of like the dark red and like the little tinginess of like that maroony pink. He's got these weird faces on his chest and stuff, so I'm going to add one to Litwick's design. The melting candle wax that kind of like drips over him now really is sharp and more just dominant, and I've also turned one of his arms into a melted candle cannon, which is representation of his gun. So I give you Litwick's Morphing Grid form. I absolutely really like the way that I designed this. You can tell that it's based off Singe, but you can't tell it's based off Singe at the same time. And that's kind of the point. I didn't want it to be literally Singe. Like I said, you could just get some of these Pokemon and Power Ranger combinations and just slap things together. And some people do, and that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to get creative with this. So Litwick's new Morphing Grid form, honestly, I really enjoyed the way I did this. And when it comes to Litwick, I haven't given any new special hidden moves or abilities. I only kind of did that with Poltergeist. But if you guys have any ideas of what his new hidden ability or special ability is, do let me know and we'll see. Next up, we have Yamask. He's our next Pokemon. And now, my favourite Power Rangers series is Power Rangers Wild Force. One of my favourite 6th Rangers is Merrick. Of course, he's the Silver Wild Force Ranger, and his entire storyline revolves him putting on a mask, becoming Zenaku. The Zenaku mask is a really big dominant feature and story plot point within Merrick's storyline. So of course, you have to take the Pokemon who's known for carrying a little mask around, and then take one of the most dominant masks within Power Rangers history, and put them together. So, I give you Yamask's Morphing Grid form. He's now white and he's now got sharp claws, obviously dominating, powerful, and representation of the fact that Zenaku and the Silver Wolf Ranger, are based off wolves. And then he's literally going to carry around the mask for Zenaku. I really like the way that this came out. I added this dark sort of colour to his eye because of the way that when Zenaku blurs around and fights the Rangers, he's got this black and purple hue to him, this purple and black colour. So that's representation of that. And then of course your mask is literally carrying around Zenaku's mask, making sure that no human puts on the mask, because your mask would obviously be scared of what would happen if the mask ever fell into human hands again. Because of course, when Merrick put on the mask, he became Zenaku. So yeah, that is his Morphing Grid form. And again, I absolutely love what I did with this. So our 4th Pokemon and our last Pokemon is going to be Klefki. Now why Klefki? Well, it's because Power Rangers do like their morphers. They like their phone morphers and their wrist morphers. And something they also like is when there's 2 components to every single morpher. That includes keys. They really, really like their keys. So what if we gave Klefki most of the most dominant of the Power Ranger keys? So when Klefki's absorbing the Morphing Grid energy, he gets a new form, the Morphing Grid form, and that is of course representing all of the keys. So here is Klefki's Morphing Grid form. As you can see, there are multiple different keys that are attached to him. He's now got the Dino Thunder logo stamped on his forehead, and the little bit on top is more reminiscent of the Brachiosaurus Zords from Dino Thunder. Now, what are the 4 keys on him? Well, let's go over them. From left to right, we have the Super Mega Force Green Ranger key hanging there. Underneath that, we have the Brachiosaurus Ranger key from Dino Thunder, which obviously Tommy Oliver himself uses. And then next to that, going up the right side now, we have the Beast Morpher's key. And last but not least, we have the Turbo Morpher key. And of course, the ring that holds all the keys, I had this little diamond pattern to represent Mighty Morphin and of course Dino Thunder as well, because Tommy Oliver's a part of both, and Tommy Oliver uses 2 sets of keys that are featured on this blimmin' Pokemon. I absolutely love this Pokemon's design, and it's my favourite out of all 4 of them. This thing is absolutely adorable, and I can't believe I turned Klefki into a Power Ranger themed Pokemon, and this is his Morphing Grid form. This video was an absolute blast to put together, and I can't believe that it's finally out. I've been trying to come up with concepts for ages. If you guys want a part 2 of this, please do let me know down below, and I will see what else I can come up with. Again, I'm not just going to slap 2 things together just because it makes sense. Yes, okay, I know I did that with Litwick, but I'm talking about when it's really obviously put together, because it obviously makes sense. So, yeah, do let me know what you guys think of the Pokemon featured in this video, and of course, do let me know what you guys think of their Morphing Grid forms. Personally, like I said, Klefki's my favourite, and I really like him a lot. And I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the rest of the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell if you guys haven't already. Word of passion, everybody. I love you all, and I shall see you guys in the next video.